a philanthropist,
What is your vision for India in the next 20 years?
a dear friend in need,
A true teacher is simply a mirror, and if he or she is also a leader, you've hit the jackpot. India is a land of such powerful leaders, and today I'm going to be speaking to one of them. I'm your host Palak, and I welcome you to the very first episode of the Palak Mehta Show, presenting our first guest, Sri Mohanji.
Who is Mohanji? A philanthropist, humanitarian, teacher, friend, a man next door, and a globally renowned spiritual master, Sri Mohanji. For some, he's been a top shipping professional in the Middle East. For others, a dear friend in need. And for many, he's been a powerful guru. A source of positivity and inspiration for Karma Yogis, Mohanji has founded several charity organizations and platforms worldwide, such as Mohanji Foundation, platform for the building of healthier societies, registered in 15 plus countries. ACT Foundation, a global charity platform. Mohanji Youth Club, platform to empower and inspire teenagers. EBC, the Early Birds Club, encouraging one to start the day at 4 a.m. And the World Consciousness Alliance, a unified platform for raising the vibration of humanity. The base of his approach is purity in thoughts, words, and actions, which leads to liberated existence. Ahimsa, unconditional love, kindness, selflessness, compassion, righteousness, and power of gratitude are key values that he wants to see with every person. Coexistence with and selfless service towards other species and Mother Earth should be our number one priority.
Namaste Mohanji. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're truly blessed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mohanji, my first question to you is, who is a Hindu? Can anyone be a Hindu?
To answer it directly, Hinduism is not a religion, it's a way of life. So anybody can be a Hindu provided they are natural, they are themselves, they accept themselves totally, they're totally balanced in their outlook. They look at every being as part of themselves. They belong to the world and the world belongs to them. There's no greed, there's no anxiety, fear, there's no confusion, there's total balance. If somebody has total balance, he can be called a Hindu. I do not think that this word Hindu existed beyond a few hundred years. And I believe that the name or the word Hindu or Hinduism is coined just to denote or just to talk about a few people who live on the south side of river Sindhu and practicing various aspects of existence as they are. My firm belief is this, and Hinduism is like an ocean. It's not a religion, it is a way of life, and it's deeply rooted in how the nature operates. The balance the nature keeps. Nature has its own balance. Every being on nature is fully rooted by the balance of nature. Like that, human beings, as part of nature, we should also be rooted in the aspects of nature. A true Hindu will be totally peaceful. We will not be aggressive at all. Aggressive in the sense not that we are not self-defensive. We will defend ourselves. That's a different story. But a true Hindu is somebody who nourishes and nurtures. A person who would contribute to the growth of everything around, who will not contradict, who will not be against things. Instead, through deep acceptance and deep nurturing, you will develop yourself as well as you will nurture the whole life around you.
Right.
So this is how a true Hindu can live. So it doesn't matter which segment you are born in, but internally you can be a Hindu when you are balanced. And which is the sun, and Indu, the moon, the sun and the moon, that the heat and the cold, or the male and the female in us unite perfectly. It gives us a balance, and that balance makes you a Hindu.
Ji, what is so special about this land called Bharat?
This land has the Bharat, Bhav, Rag, Tal. Bharat has the Bhav, that feeling, that the various feelings and various aspects, dimensions. Rag is the music, the Om and the vibrations, the music, the frequency, and Tal is the rhythm. All this merges here in this land, and this whole merging, or the merging of Bhav, Rag and Tal together makes a person to connect to himself. In your own body, there is Bhav, there are various feelings, various expressions, various experiences, the room for tackling and experiencing various aspects of life. Then the rhythm, the movement and the rhythm of all it's like a music, it's like a medley. Each organ functioning in a synchronized way, the synchronicity of functioning, and the Tal, the rhythm, basic rhythm, heartbeat. When this is all combined, we have a good, healthy life. So Bharat is a space where this aspect of existence, where when everything is harmonious, when all things are united, you have a good life.
Thank you so much. In that sense, isn't Hinduism less of a religion and more of a spiritual ideology?
There have been great masters who totally connected to themselves, and they became the universe by focusing into themselves and finding themselves inside and settling themselves inside. So this is the place where we have seen tremendous, great masters consistently over every period of time, over every generation. And this has helped this country, a unique country and unique space on earth.
Ji, what is Purushartha? Can you please explain it a little bit more in detail?
The key aspects of human existence called Purushartha. Purushartha has 4 aspects, which is Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Dharma is the righteous living, the right way to live, righteousness. Artha is the material support, including your clothes or your bed or your space or your house or your food. Artha. Artha is a very broad thing, every material that supports your existence. Then Kama is the desire, the hope, the inspiration, the inclination, the tendencies. This is Kama. And Moksha, the liberation. That means while you are experiencing everything, you already know inside that these are all temporary. Nothing stays forever. We are here on earth like a tourist with a duration of space, of existence from birth till death, and then we have to leave at some point in time. So with that full awareness that we are existing in liberation while we are experiencing everything, that's the right way to experience, not through ownerships and a false illusory feeling that we own these things. We cannot own land, we cannot own relationships, we cannot own wealth forever. For some time you can be custodians of all this, but you can't own them forever. Only the earth owns us. We go away at the time of our death, means we have to shed the body. So this Purushartha is well dissected, well defined and well practiced here. So this is very, very, very important. Every other place had dharma, laws and rules and social laws, social rules, guidelines and all those things. Artha, material welfare, material support, that was there. Kama, of course, inclination, desire, which caused all the developments. But moksha, the detachment aspect, is defined only here. And that makes us unique, and that brings all the people to India in search of this. How can you live detached amidst everything?
Right. I've always wondered, Mohanji, is there a spiritual significance to the whole Indian attire?
Spiritual significance is basically what is comfortable for you in the space you exist. In a tropical climate, in a tropical place where there is humidity, much more humidity, like 90% humidity, and you have to wear a shirt and jacket, it doesn't suit you because that's not suitable for the environment. So our attires are all connected, like each segment, or India has a great diverse locations. Every place has its flavor. its own cuisine, its own food habits, its own climate and attires. Everything is different. That's all based on the conditions of those places. And I think that's the right thing to do.
How about the spiritual significance of the beard? A lot of men back in the day in ancient India would grow their beards and even their hair. Especially a lot of people who would follow spirituality. Is there a proper scientific or spiritual reason for this?
In ancient times, the idea of being natural also meant that they have hair, long hair, etc. And if you are talking about the saints and the people living in Himalayas, etc., there is no way they can go to see a barber quite easily. There are no barbers to attend to them. But most importantly, now it is scientifically proved also, when you allow your body hair to be natural, you are more connected to your awareness. You're more aware of yourself. See, awareness is the fundamental that you should have. And in the practice of awareness, you should be fully aware of yourself. So when you are unnatural, then it slightly, in a subtle way, it disturbs that energy flow.
Mohanji, what do you think about the traditional Indian art forms? Do they hold any spiritual significance?
I love it. I love the Indian art forms. There are numerous variety. Every state has its own. And they are all rooted in Sanatan Dharma, the eternal ground rules or a perpetual ground rules of existence. Means how the nature is. So we have picked them up from the nature and we have practiced them over time. Which everything is harmonious, something which creates harmony inside and outside. This is the beauty of most of our art forms. And our various deities and various festivals, our various festivals, they all have this aspect, the harmony aspect. And whether people know about it or not, over a period of time, everything changes, right? Evolution happens in everything. So we may not know the real philosophy behind everything. Like, for example, why do we worship the basil plant, Tulsi? People may not know. The Tulsi plant is one of the plants which has 18 times the size of its aura, which people have said. People have, this is in scriptures. So that is why something which has great aura is respected. Means a person who has great aura is a saint. He is respected. Like that plant is respected because of its size of aura. Every philosophy has a deep root. There is a meaning and a method. And there is a reason, proper reason. So, and everything is coming towards or aligning to alignment, personal alignment, harmony. So all these festivals, all these art forms, everything are expressions of, spontaneous expressions of personal harmony. So that's why I love them. They are not just something which will rake up your emotions and just make you unconscious or just follow something without knowing. Not that it takes you to a level of unconsciousness. Instead, it takes you to the level of full consciousness. So that's liberating, right? When something connects, something you can connect to or something connects to you and it invokes in you a level of consciousness and higher consciousness. That's beautiful. That's why I love it. But I think that there should be a lot more explanations and kind of details to be given to people so that they can start experiencing them.
India is known to gift the world with a sattvic lifestyle. How is that related to animal cruelty?
If your aim is for higher awareness, if your aim is liberation, if your aim is to meet and merge with the supreme consciousness, then the consumption also should be disciplined. So discipline is very, very necessary for elevation of higher level. But we are not all going to be saints or going to be liberated. So any food is fine. But I always say avoid violence in thoughts, words, and actions, so that you will be feeling good, feeling peaceful. Violence breeds guilt, regrets. These are non-essential things, because they just imbalances you. So avoid imbalances and be harmonious. That's your birthright, and that gives you peace of mind. You can sleep peacefully. If you cheat, steal, betray, talk bad, take revenge, character assassinate, you won't be able to sleep peacefully because your mind will be contaminated. Just like that, food which has violence behind it, if you consume unconsciously, body becomes numb. And the essence of those violence enters your system. That you realize when your whole faculties are focused inside. Then you realize that every small thing counts.
Mohanji, in your opinion, what do you feel? Is yoga being misunderstood globally?
I do not think that yoga is misunderstood. Yoga has been understood now more, and the value has been understood now. I think overall the awareness of yoga is much more than before. This is what I feel whenever I travel. Not only yoga, now the Vastu, Ayurveda, our great wealth. Wealth is really the wealth of knowledge wealth. It's being accepted and appreciated in the world outside. Our understanding about the plants, the nature as part of our existence, then the contribution of birds, the animals, the harmony of human with other species. I think there is a lot more awareness about all these things in the world because some people have come and discussed with me these things. In case if there is misunderstanding, I think this is very temporary or in a small segment. But in a large level, I think the understanding is much more. This is what I feel.
Has the Indian system of schooling evolved over the years, Mohanji?
Indian concept of schooling has not grown over the years. This is my feeling. The Gurukul system was completely connected to a person's inclination, vasana. A person who has tendency, vasana towards, let's say, science, is taught scientific things. A person who has inclination towards spirituality is taught that subject. If a person who has inclination towards, let's say, martial arts or archery or war techniques, that's what he is taught. If you look at the epics of the past, you will know how the education system happened. And also, the master looked at the level of awareness of each individual, each student, and delivered accordingly. That means it was individualistic, no denial. And this individualistic approach is very important. In a kind of systemized education system, we are creating just bricks on the wall, mediocrity. But in the Gurukul system, there cannot be mediocrity because a student learns based on what he is capable of, what his inclinations are. So he will be happy to learn it. Learning should be pleasure, not pressure. In the modern education system, the main disharmony that I find is that students are learning things to make money, to make a living. So what do they learn? Most of them learn what gives them or what provides them a job which will give them a lot of money instantaneously, means as early as possible. So people are only going for safe subjects, but their inclination and their aptitude may be different. But in the Gurukul system, the aptitude is counted very, very, very deeply, and the master knows. Like, for example, if you see how Drona used to teach his students, he decided that each one of them was taught according to his aptitude, his disposition, his caliber, what he is capable of. And it's important that he will not use it for selfish pleasures, for the sake of adharma, not dharma. That was decided. So there should be a total balance inside before a martial art is taught. That means it should be only used for self-defense, not for attacking, not for abuse. It should not be abused. This is the thing. So when a person decides to use it to show his prowess, to show his prowess or pride or for egoistic purposes, it's taken away, because nothing is taught for egoistic display. Instead, it's taught for self-defense. So this is how our system worked earlier. It was beautiful, harmonious. A person who likes carpentry is taught carpentry. A person who likes to do cobbler work is taught cobblering, things like that. Based on what his disposition is, that's taught. So that system should come back. We should educate people based on their disposition, aptitude, and also their capacity and caliber, so that everybody will be peaceful. When you have people performing life or performing their duties in life, if they are taught things which are suitable for them, they will have a balanced existence. They'll be happy to do it. Work will be a pleasure. Now work is usually a pressure for the sake of money. So the internal harmony is missing. We must get this back. Life has to be harmonious. I believe so. If you do not like something in life and you are pressured to do it, the whole life is disturbed. And that is displayed as aberrations. People go for intoxications, strange behaviors, sometimes abnormalities in behavior, sometimes perversions. All these things are connected to disharmony. When a person is totally harmonious, life, they will not display anything disharmonious in life. Means they will not display any aberrations in life. So I think that we have to bring back the old system of education where we are teaching children based on their aptitude. I think in some schools they are doing it, but not all schools. So we are, instead of churning out like a machine, more and more bricks on the wall, we should instead concentrate on bringing out the best of every student. So that will make each student competent, confident, and they don't have to compete with anybody. See, when do you have to compete with anybody? Because you are kind of trying to find your footing somewhere. Here, you are satisfied and stable with your skills. Then what are you competing with? You're unique. And what you are displaying with your right skills, right mechanism, or the right education, what you are displaying is the right product or right attitude in the society. When you display the right attitude in the society, you are rewarded the right way. So glory happens when you are harmonious with your tendencies, your inclinations, and you are doing those things which suits you. So when you do things which suits you, you are happy with it. If your activity is pleasure for you, you will be successful. You will have glory. So because you love to do it, you really love to do it. So more people doing things which they love to do, the world is better. This should come back. India should get this back.
How to bring peaceful societies around the globe? Do you think a Gurukul system could help?
I would always say, let there be harmony in every aspect of existence, and then there'll be harmony in the society. Now you can see a lot of aberrations, so much of heartaches. We see disturbances. And the root cause of these disturbances is that people are not happy. They're doing things for a life, for a living, but they are not happy. If they are happy, they will not disturb any other soul, any other being. They will be peaceful. So to bring this peacefulness, we must bring in harmony, and that has to go in every aspect of existence. I always believe that there should be counseling in every level, from the small class to all the way to the highest class, whichever class people go into, of education. There should be counseling. People should be able to talk. This subject is not suitable for me. I can't do this. So that you will not ever ask a fish to climb a tree and call it a failure, because fish can't climb the tree. Fish is not supposed to climb the tree. It is supposed to swim well. So we will definitely give that aid and ability for people based on their disposition, their inclination, their tendency, aptitude. Then there will be a great life.
Mohanji, I follow you on Twitter, and in a recent tweet you mentioned that Nikola Tesla, Bob Marley, and Bruce Lee are saints in their own right. That is a very unique perspective. Could you please shed some light on that?
I respect all these people like Bob Marley and Nikola Tesla, etc., because there are certain aspects which makes you a saint. One of the key aspects is that you can have anything you like because you are resourceful, but you want nothing. Means total detachment. Means you have plenty. You can have plenty. But if you don't need anything, if you are not connected to any aspects of your existence outside of you. Instead, you are fully connected to every aspect of existence inside you. You are a saint. You can be a musician, you can be a pilot, you can be a scientist. Doesn't matter. But how detached you are makes you a saint. And I think many of these people, we had a great president, APJ Abdul Kalam. He was a saint, walking, talking saint. He was living the life of a saint. When he left his body, he just left behind the dress he used and a few pennies. That's it. He was the president of the country, but he never amassed wealth. So this greed for things from earth and the greed for positions and possessions, they make you terrestrial. But here you can have anything you like in the world because you are resourceful, you have talents, but you are not affected by anything. Means you do not want anything. See, when Karl Marx introduced the concept of haves and have-nots, it really inspired the world, and that's how communism took birth. But there were one category of people at that time and even now and before that time who could have had anything they want, but they needed nothing. The great masters. They were fully occupied with the bliss inside. They were really floating in that bliss and fully occupied and enjoying the bliss. They wanted nothing from this earth. This class is the real class, totally detached. Everything, they detached from everything, detached from completely everything, but enjoying everything. Means if something comes to you, they enjoy it. If that doesn't come to you, fine. So there is no regrets, there is no guilt, there is no desire, there is no ambition of that level. Just living their life as free as a bird, complete freedom. So a person living in total freedom without any materials like intoxications, etc., on their own can be considered as a saint. This is a real sainthood. Real sainthood is total detachment. While you have everything, not that you don't have it and you say, oh, I don't need it. That's different. But while you have everything, while you can have everything, but you don't need anything, that's a sainthood. That's a real saint.
Describe India in 3 words.
Bhav, Rag, Tal.
Your favorite Indian actor.
Amitabh Bachchan.
You started speaking a little bit of Hindi. What is your current favorite Hindi dialogue?
Majboori halat idhar bhi hai udhar bhi.
Mohanji, what is your vision for India in the next 20 years?
Total love, total coexistence with harmony.
What is that one thing which this pandemic has given birth to?
Yourself.
Alright, this is an easy one. Most of us know that answer, but we still would like to hear it from you. Mountains or beaches?
Mountains.
If a feature film is made on the life of a saint, who would it be?
Swami Vivekananda.
Thank you so much, dear Mohanji, from the bottom of our hearts for taking out this time. And I'm sure our viewers have not had enough of you. We'll be calling you again next time and we'll be truly honored to have you.
Thank you so much. I wish you great success. This is your first show. And I'm sure you will do very well. And there'll be a great presence of you and your shows in the world. And the world needs it. You have the caliber, you have the talent, and you will be visible. Shine bright. The world needs light.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this show, subscribe and share. I'll see you next time with another very special guest.